Let's talk about 20 free patterns that would make the perfect holiday gift. Hello, my name is Emily Crow from The Cozy Crow, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome to Vlogmas. In today's video, I wanted to do a little pattern roundup. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, but I always have a lot of fun looking through patterns online and I guess curating a list of patterns that are cohesive for a specific theme. And I think you guys like these videos too, and I thought it would be fun to have a special pattern roundup for Vlogmas. In this video, I want to talk about a bunch of free patterns that I think would make the perfect gift. When you are planning a gift to give to a loved one, you are probably looking for something that is fairly simple to make, that won't take very long, but is not very boring. Like, you want to be able to enjoy the process of making as well, not just the finished outcome, especially if you have a goal to make multiple gifts this holiday season. I also tried to pick patterns that use smaller yardage so that you could only use a skein or two of yarn rather than like a garment or a blanket or something that may use a ton of yarn, because it's more practical to make fast for this holiday season, especially if you're investing in some really nice hand-dyed yarn. It's not very accessible to spend money on like 5 or 6 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. So I wanted to pick some smaller projects that are much more attainable so that whatever budget you have, you can still definitely accomplish making these types of gifts. Let's jump right into these 20 patterns that are free. So if you are going to spend money on a gift, you can spend money on the kind of yarn that you want to use and not on the pattern itself. I've got my laptop here. I kind of organize these patterns by category of where you may find them, and I'll make sure to link all of them down below and pop up the info on screen so that you can take your pick on what you like based on what you're seeing. So first, I want to talk about neck accessories. And this first pattern is called Simple Yet Effective by Tin Can Knits. And this is knit with a DK weight yarn. This is a cowl, and it's got a really simple texture. It's almost got like a welt type of a look with the purl stitches. This would be a super simple make, very easy to customize if you wanted to make your own like double wrapped cowl or wanted to make it a taller type of cowl. You would have a lot of leeway to make this fit how you would want. I also think that this pattern would be really good for any kind of variegated yarn too, not just like a tonal or a solid. So you could really showcase a skein or two of some really special hand-dyed yarn for someone that you care about. Another neck accessory that I love, this is,
Nurmilintu.
Nurmilintu. That's so cool that you can actually listen to the pronunciation. Nurmilintu by Heidi Alander. And this is a beautiful cowl that uses about 1 skein of yarn. I'm sure you could adjust it either way, but this drapes beautifully and is a nice long shawl that is made with fingering weight yarn, has a beautiful lace detail, so it adds a little bit of interest with those lace bands throughout, and it looks super wearable. I think that's the problem with some shawls trying to only use 1 skein of yarn. It can sometimes yield too small or like not a good shape for a shawl to wear on your neck, but this shawl would be really good to wear on your neck. Not as much of a shoulder arm shawl, but definitely a neck accessory. So cute. And again, this would look really good in a variegated yarn as well, I think. And not a single purl stitch. We love that. We love that. Definitely makes it a much quicker project to work on. The next neck accessory, that's hard to say, that I want to showcase is the Meadow scarf by Annabel Williams. And this is made with DK weight yarn. It's got some beautiful like cabling detail, but it's a smaller pattern, more of like a neckerchief, but definitely thicker, can provide a lot of warmth and coziness. I think this is beautiful. This would be perfect underneath like a winter coat. So it's not super bulky, but definitely warms your neck area. And I love this texture, would be so fun to make. It's so pretty. There might even be like little snippets of lace in between every cable. It's a little hard to see, but there's definitely some interesting texture there. It looks like a very interesting make as well as a very interesting project to wear. I think that whoever would get this kind of project would really see how beautiful it was as a handmade piece. Here is another shawl or shawlette. This is Mara by Audrey Borrego, and this is made with fingering weight yarn. It uses anywhere between half a skein to 1 skein of yarn. You can make it whatever size you want. This is again a very wearable neck type of accessory rather than like a big blanket shawl. This is a more textured piece, so if you're not into lace and you're not into cables as much, this texture would really suit you. There's a little bit of lace for sure, but it just adds to the texture overall. Rather than having like this big lace motif, there's like stripes of lace, which I think is really fun. This pattern also comes in French or English, so this is a really simple piece that has enough of an interest. I think it would be a really fun but also simple and intuitive make that would make a really great gift. Let's move on from neck accessories and move towards hats and other head accessories for keeping warm. This pattern looked really fun and quick to make, and it comes in so many sizes from preemie all the way to adult man. Ooh, how many sizes is that? 9 sizes, and there's a preemie 4 to 5 pounds, preemie 5 to 6 pounds, a newborn, baby 3 to 6 months, like lots of child sizes, which is great. So if you're hoping to make any gifts for a small little nugget in your life or in the life of someone you love, then this would be a great gift. It uses 2 different colors, and I love this fun color work fleece stitch type of ombre. It's so cute. You can really mix and match with whatever colors you want. It is made with worsted weight yarn, so again, a really quick make, especially if you're making one of the smaller sizes. And even for an adult, it wouldn't take too much yarn. It says up to 200 yards of worsted weight yarn. So yeah, just grab 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn and you're good to go, and you'll definitely have extra. This looks so fun to make. Another hat that I recently saw on Instagram that I really want to showcase. This is the rustic red one by Jessica Spiegel, and this hat was actually featured in a new movie that just came out in Red One, and this designer was reached out to about making the hat for the cast member, like to actually be included in all the promo and in the movie, which I think is so cool. Like, what a cool moment for that designer. This hat actually comes in multiple sizes as well. It comes in 5 sizes, so definitely from kids, a 16-inch head circumference, all the way up to almost a 24-inch head circumference. It's got this really nice ribbing detail. It's got the fun, like, long Santa hat. It just looks so fun and so festive for this holiday season. You could make it in green if you wanted to make it more elf themed, but this would be perfect to add to a holiday wardrobe, and it looks like a really fun make. The ribbing would make it kind of cinch in and fit a variety of head sizes, so you definitely have a lot of leeway in making a size as a gift knit. So if you're not quite sure exactly how big someone's head is, you can make your best guess and it will still do just fine. Stocking cap, that's what this shape is called, with the very long end. So fun. I want one. And like I said, all these patterns are free. This designer is offering this pattern for free, which is really great. If you are wanting to knit more of a textured hat, this one is for you. And this one is great if you also want to combine some mohair and fingering weight yarn, or you can substitute in for just DK if you'd like. This is the Leni hat by Isabell Kraemer. And this is again fingering and lace held together with like a mohair, I think is the original. You could use a lace weight suri if you wanted to for a nice cozy factor, or any kind of DK weight yarn to make this. It is a fairly simple hat with some really cute tree-like texture right near the brim of the hat. It looks like it's a doubled up brim as well, so nice and cozy for your ears. So this would be a really good stash buster if you have a couple of random skeins that you want to combine together in a hat. This would be nice and cozy. It comes in 3 sizes as well, like an older kid to adult sizes. So it starts with 18 inches up to 21 inches unstretched, but again, it has a lot of leeway. Knitting has a lot of stretch with it, so definitely not for a newborn, but for maybe like a toddler, and then maybe for like a school age or teenager, and then for an adult kind of sizing. Our last ear/head accessory is the Frida ear warmer by Emilie Louise. And let's see, it comes in English, French, and Spanish, so I'm sure I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I do apologize. But this is, again, another pattern that's really simple to knit, that really just involves knitting a tube and then twisting the yarn on itself as you are sewing those ends together to make this classic twist look that's been around for a while. It's been popular for a while. I really like how this pattern is simple. It uses a DK weight yarn, or you can use fingering and lace, again held together for that cozy factor. This would be a really easy pattern to make a lot of, to make as some gifts, and with using any kind of mohair or suri, it would feel very luxe, and so it would make a great gift. You can make it like a thicker headband if you wanted to cover more of their head. You could do it thinner if you wanted it to be more like a headband rather than ear warmers. Let me see, I think it's just one size, yes, as far as like the circumference around the head, but again, that you could easily adjust if you tried out a length, you know, kind of measured, see how it fit, etc., etc. Let's move into some hand accessories for some cozy knits. These are the Pioneer Gloves by McClure. This pattern uses fingering weight yarn and has a really fun rib texture that looks really beautiful when you look at that gusset shaping that they did. It's just so fascinating and really beautiful to look at, honestly. Like, I'm just entranced by this. You can make them into just fingerless mitt type of a look. You can make them even longer in the fingers to kind of cover up the hand. If you want to go at it, you can definitely adjust this pattern to make an actual mitten. You could make it a fold over for the fingers to kind of pull back and have your fingers free. You could make it a really long cuff. You could do a lot to adjust this. This also comes in multiple sizes, adult small, medium, and large, and you have short and long lengths for that cuff for all of them. I think fingerless mitts are a really quick gift idea. I've made a couple fingerless mitts and I would love to make some more. They're really good for layering too. If someone has like a pair of nice cozy gloves or mittens that they like, they can wear over top of fingerless mitts. I just love the ribbing detail and how it really shows off that gusset shaping. And if you're nervous about shaping, it's not as hard as you think it will be, I promise. And this would be a really good project to start before you work on sock shaping. This is like a good next step to practice making a gusset, adding stitches, and seeing how that fabric forms for like a nice geometric shape. This next pattern is called Vanilla Mittens by Kaitlin Barthold. Originally Lovely, I think, is her name on Instagram. And this uses Aran weight yarn. It uses her own yarn, but I'm sure you could use a worsted weight yarn and be pretty fine. There's also some Aran weight yarn out there, and depending on where you live, it might be easier to find. I think you can get this gauge with a worsted weight yarn. Not too tricky. I love how in this picture she uses two different colors of yarn, so it's really fun to see like the darker cuff and the lighter mittens. This also comes in many sizes from extra small to 3X, so I don't know the measurements exactly. It says adult sizes, but like 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5 inches, so they're all really specific, so you can get a really well-fitting mitten and does not use a lot of yarn. If you make some of the larger sizes, then you may use 2 balls of yarn, but this would also be good for, again, scrap busting, maybe doing a different colored cuff versus the actual hand of the mitten. I like how it's a folded over cuff, so nice and toasty wrists. And this pattern I think is free on her website, actually, on her blog. And then the last mittens, if you are wanting something that's a little bit more intricate and interesting, these are the Severnside mitts by Annabel Williams. Have I already grabbed a pattern by Annabel Williams on this list? This is a beautiful cable pattern that kind of makes this almost like a Celtic knot or like a heart shape in the pattern. It is so, so cute. And these look like they fit really, really well. Nice and toasty and cozy. They're made with DK weight yarn. Again, I'm trying to pick a variety of yarn weights for these types of patterns, so you have some options. This comes in 3 sizes. And my guess is that they are 3 adult sizes, but it does not say here on the landing page in Ravelry. But they have a fold over cuff, it looks like, and that pattern is just beautiful, and it looks like there's a hat pattern to go along with it. If you wanted to make a set, that is also an option. Let's talk about some toys you might be making for some little nuggets, or maybe you are just making some for a child at heart. You've probably seen, what are they called? Like the tube bear designs that like they have a little sweater and like pants and like the little head, and you basically just knit this tube, change colors when you need to, and then sew to make the arms and the leg dents and like make the shaping correct. I have never seen actual dolls. I've only seen things like bears. So this was really fun. This is the Pretty Izzy Dolls by Esther Braithwaite. Oh my gosh, the pictures, there are so many different like colored versions that you can see. There is a boy and a girl. The girl has like hair up, little curly bits, and a frilly skirt, while the boy has like a shirt and pants type of look. You can always mix and match, I'm sure. You could make a girl wear pants and a shirt. I don't think it would be too hard, but I love that this pattern has a few different options, so you can have different hair or, you know, dress or whatnot. And I just think these are really, really cute. Like I said, I haven't seen dolls in this style. I've only seen bears. So this was really fun to stumble across. The History and Legacy of Izzy Dolls in Canada. I need to go check that out. There's also a Danish version that you can check out as well if you are a Danish maker. Let's learn about Izzy Dolls. This website that it links to, I'll have to do some looking around. This is hpickcanada.ca. Oh, here we go, Izzy Dolls. These special handmade dolls will be given to children around the world. Sometimes the doll is a child's first toy. There is a knitting pattern and there's a crochet version for these Izzy dolls. So cute. Oh my goodness. I love that. I think that's awesome. So if you want to do some making for a good cause, then that is a great place to check it out. I'll make sure to link that down below as well. The next pattern I want to share with you, I love Sara Schira's gnome patterns, and there is Gnatty, the Unexpected Gnome by Schira that is actually free on her website. On Bookmarked Hub, it looks like. And this is like a mix and match gnome using components from her recent book, The Gnomes of Grimblewood, and you can make your own little gnome. This was like a fun little make-along, so you could try out some of the pattern components from her new book, and so you can try out making a gnome if you're not sure if you'll like the process. She has tons of gnomes to choose from, so it's fun that there is this free gnome option you can try out to get a little taste of the things that she has designed. And the last toy I want to share, this is really cute. This is Victorian Mouse by Sarah Elizabeth Kellner. And this was actually, it says, a wee pattern to wet your whistle for what is to come in the very near future. Victorian house cats to knit. This book is coming out sometime soon. I don't know if it is available yet. Let's check it out. But you can knit a cute little mouse to go with your cute little Victorian house cats. It looks like it has been published. I could get that. Should I get that? I would love to knit some Victorian house cats. Let me see if I can find some pictures. I may end up putting this on my Christmas list. So fun. We'll have to look into that. But in the meantime, you can make a cute little Victorian mouse. This is adorable. It's just really cute and doesn't look too tricky. There's some ears, a couple feet, and the tail are smaller components, but the body overall is pretty simple, just some increasing and decreasing, it looks like. This would be a really quick make, and this takes worsted weight yarn. I would love to talk about some sock patterns, and this one is one I've actually made. I'll have to find the socks, but I definitely have a picture I can track down, and I'll post it up here. But this is the Laid Edges sock pattern by Kelly McPherson. This is a free pattern, and it uses DK weight yarn. I love that it's a really simple sock. It's cuffed down, but then it has this really beautiful texture in it. That I actually included a mini tutorial on how to do this texture within the vlog I filmed. I am doing an autumn equinox cast on in this vlog, and I followed this pattern, and I managed to kind of figure out from the wording how to best do this texture detail, and so I included that little mini tutorial within that vlog as I attempted to knit a full pair of socks within just 24 hours. So I'll definitely link that vlog up above and down below if you're interested in checking that out. I definitely recommend this pattern. I had a lot of fun knitting it, and having that little texture is just a really fun extra detail that made this a fun knit, but also pretty simple to make. The next pair of socks that I want to talk about is the I'm So Basic socks by Summer Lee, and this is one of the first sock patterns that I ever followed. I recommend it because Summer has some really intricate instructions and details for knitting your very first pair of socks. So she really walks you through the whole process, and I definitely recommend using this resource. You can find this pattern both on Ravelry and on her website. It is a cuff down, heel flap, and gusset sock, and while I don't follow these exact numbers anymore, I have kind of perfected my perfect sock pattern. This is an amazing resource for your very first pair of socks, or if you're trying to really wrap your brain around the anatomy of socks and how socks work as a knit object. definitely recommend. It comes in sizes small, medium, large, and extra large, all kind of adult sizes, but for a larger kid, you can make the small size, I think. The last pair of socks that I want to highlight is the Slow Morning DK Socks by Camille Heng, and this comes in 3 sizes as well. DK weight socks again, and it's just a simple rib pattern. It looks like it's got a short row heel to it, but these would be nice and cozy and would be a really great gift. It also comes in English and French. You can find the full video tutorial on YouTube if you are a visual person more than a pattern reading type of a person. This is a 2x2 rib, really simple, and would be a really good first or second sock. Again, with the DK weight, they would work up really fast. Our last category is like home goods, I guess I would say. Just a couple little accessories that don't necessarily go on your body that would make really great gifts. This is the Crabo book cover by Katerina Tavora. This has a really beautiful texture. If you know someone who loves books, then you can make one of these Crabo book covers. There are 2 different sizes, a small and a medium. I'm not sure the exact dimensions. She gives the dimensions here in the pattern. So if you are curious, you can definitely make a smaller one that is more intended for like a paperback and a larger one for a hardback book maybe. You can use worsted weight yarn for this pattern. This would make a really great gift, honestly. It says Crabo is named after the word crab in Esperanto, since the twisted slip stitches in this lovely yarn reminded me of the little crab pincers I usually find on my beach walks. I really like this texture. I think that this is really interesting and really fun. I haven't seen something like this in a long time. So you're not just knitting like a plain stockinette book sleeve, but you can really highlight this really neat texture. It looks really cool. And this would protect someone's books if they, for example, have to take them on the go, like throw them in a backpack or in a purse, just keep them a little bit more protected if they are a traveling type of a book. I bring a lot of books with me to work at my job, and so I definitely need a book cover. Maybe I should make this for myself. This is showcased in some solids, but I think that a tonal or even like a mild variegated yarn would still really show off this texture. The next pattern I think could make a really good gift for a lot of people. This is a hot water bottle cover by Emilie Bolduan, and this is in DK weight yarn. It's a really simple make. I don't have a hot water bottle, but I feel like they're coming back in fashion a little bit, just because they're a more aesthetic option for, you know, warming your bed and warming your toes. This would be a really great pattern to use if you want to highlight a really beautiful skein of yarn. It would be just about 1 skein of DK weight yarn, so it'd be a perfect way to kind of showcase that and make a really special, thoughtful gift for the cold weather season. So it's something practical that you're giving, but also has a really lovely personal touch to it. I think this would make a great gift for a lot of people. And finally, this is the Vanilla Chai Cup Cozies by Alexandra Frankel, and this is made with worsted weight yarn. And it comes in 1 size, but there are 3 different variations of cabled texture that just bring all the cozy vibes. This would make a really great gift, especially if you're wanting to make like a little gift basket that's themed for like hot drinks that someone enjoys, or just a lot of little holiday type goodies. This would be great as part of a bigger gift for sure that could be themed. I love that there's 3 different variations, so you can mix and match, maybe find the one that you enjoy knitting the most. If you like one in particular, you can knit a lot of them, or if you want to mix and match, maybe you're making for a group of your friends, like a book club or something, then you can make a couple of each one and everyone can pick their favorite. This would be a really fun, quick make that has enough variation, I feel like would still be really enjoyable and would give you a break from 1 set of cables to do a different set. And I bet you could adjust the numbers if you wanted to make just a simple cup sleeve without the cables, if that's what you wanted to do. All right, there you have it. 20 patterns that are free and would make really amazing holiday gifts this time of year. I hope you enjoy this pattern roundup, and let me know down below if you've made any of these patterns or if you have any other patterns you would recommend that would make really, really great holiday gifts, especially since it is already December. We don't have a lot of time if we're hoping to make a gift, but there are a lot of really thoughtful and well-intentioned gifts that can be given. Even if you start them this late into the holiday season, you've still got plenty of time, so don't stress it. I hope that this list helped you out if you're looking for ideas. And until next time, happy making. Bye!